in 2004, in 2004, Uganda, especially Kampala, only had 4 hotels that had the capacity to host presidents. But as we speak now, Kampala has over 10 hotels that have the capacity to host presidents.
Can you list them?
That one is an achievement.
List them.
I,
List those 10.
no, let me begin.
Just
Hotel
list 10.
Africana.
No, it won't. It doesn't. Thank you. Thank you, Musa. Let me bring in Peter Mpaka. Peter, you belong to the opposition, and you've been saying a very bad image of Uganda to the rest of the world. You must be sour graping. This must be a slap on your face, because now the world is converging in Kampala. This is a vote of confidence of the governance and the state of democracy of our country, because now the West and all other delegates will be in here in Uganda. You know, stating clearly, we know Uganda is safe, Uganda is stable, Uganda is in the right hands. It is the very reason upon which we can host these summits in Uganda.
Thank you, SJ. And yes, it is true for us in the opposition. We are sour graping because we don't see a reason why these over 100 something states are coming to summit here in Kampala when we have people who are still incarcerated in prison for now 3 years just because they attended Robert Chagulanyi's campaign rallies. And even the composition of the NAM itself, I think it is a system of blindfolding the common man and the ordinary citizen. Because when you see among the attendants a country like North Korea coming to attend and sending representatives, when we know what North Korea is doing within the Korean peninsula, testing missiles and nuclear weapons against all the international uproar, I think it already shows you that these are systems, like Musa Tukwatanisa has said, that are there to govern us by blindfolding us to think that all is well, when actually China and the world's big superpowers are doing their internal businesses. Now, for me, I look at NAM as a new form of neocolonialism, because we transitioned from the physical colonialism to this ideological colonialism, like Musa said. Because when you look at China, for example, for China to give you a loan, you must mortgage a serious and important property of the country. You remember they nearly took our Entebbe airport. You remember China, actually it is in the rumors that China owns Bank of Uganda. That they even came. They took Lake Victoria. These are the guys.
I don't know
actually,
why,
they
Peter
even came.
Baka, you've obtained the tendency
of
creating very
these are
mind-blowing allegations influenced by Castle Bwenje.
Okay.
Where are you getting all this confidence?
I'm telling you.
These are national assets.
Yes.
They belong to the
Don't
people
you
of
know,
Uganda.
Don't you know that Entebbe Airport one time had been changed to China Entebbe Airport? And the State House, when the Chinese came for State House, that's when President Museveni started backtracking. Exactly. So it's in the hands of the 7. They corrected 7 billion this year. I heard it. It is taken by the Chinese. So and that's where I reach and I hate President Museveni with passion. Nobody in a moto just okubasa kutrashinga 200 applicants of the half of the NRM. He said, "You people, you're not helping me govern this country," and he trashed them. But there is where you reach and you see that the man is really tired, because the other weekend he was saying we should dismantle and get out of the Commonwealth. This week he is here now again, bringing in and accepting and welcoming another big group now, which it is against and on the other side, he's going to be advocating for the integration and expansion of the EAC. You're destroying this group, and you're now saying, let's build this.
But
group.
Uganda can belong in any other
Simply because, actually, the only person that is going to benefit from this NAM is President Museveni. And his family, because he actually is going to become the chairman of the NAM. That's the only thing. He's going to be the chairman of NAM from 2024 up to, I think, 2026. He's the only one, because he already told you, me, I don't care about anyone. I am working for my children. I'm working for my stomach and Mama Janet. So he's welcoming these things just to just stamp himself and benefit. There is nothing. Otherwise, the Chinese are taking our roads. The Chinese are taking our lakes. You had the story of Zambia. They took the gold mines in Zambia. They took everything in Zambia, and that's why mines. Yes, the copper mines, and that's why the Zambians just away Edgar Lungu, that former president Lungu, and they voted an opposition leader Cherema something Cherima, yes. Pastor Cherima. So I want to call upon Ugandans who are listening to me that let us understand the people. I think there is a notion in the world, when you look at the international scene, that the powers are shifting from the US to China and to the East. So people like Museveni, who are somehow strategists, they are trying to grab whatever they can grab before the wind blows away everything. I want to tell Ugandans that Uganda is here permanently, and we should make our choices better. And when the time comes, let us take the example of the Zambians. Okay. Let us vote Bobi Wine Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
Council Honorato Muhanguzi, welcome to the show. Perhaps you could get closer a little bit so that my good people can be able to catch you clearly. But Council Honorato, for the rest of other countries, there is celebration, there is unity even within the opposition and government when an international summit is given to be hosted in a particular country. If it were Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta and the current president William Ruto and all the Kenyan people will be all together to sell a product called Kenya. Here in Uganda, you just had a member of the opposition. You're castigating your own country against any good benefits that would come up from an international summit. We know that certainly the hotels, Speak Resort Munyonyo, just got an uplift. We know the status of the Entebbe International Airport, new look, because of the UPDF and the engineering brigade there. We know they've been paved roads and all this that is happening because of this summit. Isn't it in good time that we celebrate what these leaders have been able to do in preparation for the summit? Honorat.
Thank you very much. Good morning, dear listeners. Good morning, my fellow panelists. Some of us who are good believers in the Bible, in Paul's letter to Galatians, Jesus asked Galatians that you foolish Galatians, who bewitched you? I want to repeat the same rhetoric that actually Uganda was bewitched a long time ago. That's why you are even having the courtesy of speaking about Munyonyo, which is somebody's business.
No, you
where government keeps
that's a
on
public private
money, but at the end of the day they end up in Rwashtura.
No, the majority shareholders of Munyonyo is actually government.
Does it get dividends from there?
Absolutely.
From where?
From Speak Resort
When
Munyonyo.
did it stop depositing money? Or when did it deposit the money, the last money of dividends on National Consolidated Fund? It's not there. It has been a public outcry all over from our parliament. And parliamentarians are helpless. They have just folded their arms in their chests and they have nowhere to cry from. They only look at things going on. Because that is someone's project. It is an in-house project. It is a we call it a familotocracy. That's why my brother here is still praising MK. And is the shareholder. You ask others, they will tell you. Now, when we are talking of such international forums, they are good for a country. But first ask yourself, what are you marketing? What are you putting across so that these people, once they are here, they see, they eat, they touch, they even go out and say, we have bought this from Uganda. I understand we are one of the top tourist destinations in the world. They will go to Mugahinga, they will tour 1, 2, 3 days. The next item on agenda, they will go out. How many industries do you have so that you are marketing your own products? The Buy Uganda, Build Uganda concept. So that somebody who comes from Bangladesh will go to Bangladesh with his something made from Uganda. So in whatever we are doing, we have to be mindful about what we put on market. In law, we have what we call Nemo Dat rule. You give what you have. Mr. Uganda, what do you have?
We have coffee, we have gorillas, we have all this.
Are they going to take mbajeta kirini? Mbaza gutwara nebishu byago. So sometimes we have to crack our heads and ask ourselves, if you are bringing an Algerian here, if you are bringing a Chinese here, you are bringing somebody from Canada, what are you going to market that he does not have at home? You saw how President Ruto was boasting that we sell our own market at a relatively higher price, and we go and import the cheapest milk from
Uganda.
And you think that one is something you should just come and laugh at. So I will go back to my first statement from Paul's letter to Galatians. Who bewitched us? You have stated it clearly that if it was in Kenya, you would see President Ruto standing with Raila Odinga welcoming guests. But here, they will incarcerate you from your own house. They will stage roadblocks to your own home. They will make sure you die from your own house if you don't have a star at home.
Information, I can give information.
Are you getting my point? Because they want to show off. If we want to know that things are just going into one man's show, you will see the president discussing issues of national importance. Alongside is the Minister of Education, who is the wife. The next in combat is MK, who is the command of the army. Another one.
No, the command of the army is General.
What are you saying?
Mbadi.
Some people are just office occupants. They don't have powers.
He's a special operation.
She's the de facto. You see,
there's
de facto, yes.
Unfortunately, now Musa Kwatanese is given the responsibility of state to defend the government because it looks like all the other voices are away.
No, but
continue, Council Honorable.
Some of us, we want to bring these things so that an ordinary Ugandan can easily discern and see where we are heading, what we are doing, and what we can able put on market.
But we know for sure that there are roads that have been paved and things gotten better, especially on infrastructure.
Now,
in preparation of this summit.
We have a
If
precedent.
I can ask actually, why are the roads being paved now? Where has government been?
The end justify the means.
Now, let me
if
tell
these
you.
people are going to go and leave us better, then why not?
Give us better.
Yeah, with
those
better
roads are
roads.
going to develop potholes. The electricity poles are going to be, stolen and not even repaired. So just after the 23rd of January.
Okay.
Mr. Bwenje, now, next year, I'm not a prophet of doom like Prophet Amos in the divinity, who say that you wait. Next year, the Auditor General's report, you will see how many people will follow Mr. Wamafa in prison, people who will follow Kazinda, the people who will follow like Gilbert Bukenya, because now I have seen in New Vision, they are saying that they are targeting 3.7 trillion, which is approximately $1 billion to be injected in this for these 2-3 summits that have been
in Uganda.
in Uganda. But now ask yourself, someone who is in Chikagate, can he really feel the ejection of this money?
Now, the
Injection.
ripple effect is what we must interrogate. Are the
Now,
people now benefiting?
Let me ask you. These are the people who are coming only for 3 days, if not 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they go back home.
From about 15 to 20.
What about for us Ugandans, who will stay here for the rest of our lives? What crime did we commit to God so that we should be rewarded with potholes, with corruption, with road shading, and even now people coming to our houses to take our land? If you can see the total outcry in Kampala, it is about land, it is about corruption, it is about potholes. Somebody stealing your own property. And you know it's a constitutional right under Article 26. A right to own property. But your own soldiers, our own sons, our own combatants, our own ministers coming for our land. Now what is remaining? They are coming for our wives. Because we don't have money, we don't have state power, they will take our land, take our wives. The next is taking our children. They say to Razi, Abana Baba Tuar. What will you say? Now,
Conclusively.
when I compare, lastly, when I compare summits like G7, G6, G7, and G8, where we have the USAs, the France, the UKs, big boys.
Yes.
Once they sit, someone will say, now for me, I have nuclear weapons. Another one will say, now I'm going to bring a V12. We have been driving V8.
Another
now
one will say,
someone is bringing Ferrari.
fast speed internet.
Hey, someone is boasting that for us,
Going to space.
we are going to space. Next week, we are sparking
But Uganda was at
rocket to
or those same countries, for example, the US or France or Britain, were at Uganda's level some time ago.
And what happened?
Should we all be at the same level? Does
you
it
aware
mean
that,
because we are not in the G7, we should not be in the G77?
Now, you can see China, because of fearing about Ugandans and these Africans who can access their countries, they decided to hold such gatherings in Uganda so that you manage your own affairs. Your minister should not disappear from China. You have seen a number of people like Zoe Bakoko Bakoru. She went to USA on official visit and disappeared from there.
Up to date.
Up to date.
Let's
She
off-
has never returned.
Let's stop for a break. We'll be right back in the second hour of the show. Keep the conversation going on our social media platforms. When we come back, I'll be able to open the line so that you contribute to our topic of discussion. Don't touch your radio. We'll be back. Good morning.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 CROOZE FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
ono ye sports bwino omuli ebikulu bye weetaaga okumanya mu muzannyo gw'endiba buli ssaawa.
I could be the best thing in your life.
welcome back. It's 2 minutes past 10 o'clock on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 CROOZE FM. Great music, great friends. The big city's on. My name is Wesley Gebanyaji. With me in studio are very learned individuals. In council, Honorato Muhanguzi, who is a lawyer. Council Bwenje Dos Didit, who is a lawyer. Peter Mpaka says he's very learned. He belongs to the National Inter Platform. And my very good scientist and very knowledgeable in economics, Mr. Musa Kwatan, say he belongs to the National Resistance Movement. I think he's the only voice for government this morning. But don't forget that you can be able to join the conversation on our social media platforms. We are 912 CROOZE FM on X and 91.2 CROOZE FM on Facebook and Instagram. I put a question on what we are discussing this morning. NAM and the G77 summit happening in Kampala from the 15th of January. And we're asking what benefits are there for the common man? What does this mean for Uganda? We know for sure that the international airport Entebbe has gotten a new facelift, an expansion. And now we know that the Munyonyo Convention Center, the Speak Resort, has been expanded and given a new look. And all that is so that the guests feel at home and welcome about Uganda. What is it that we can market and sell to other countries as a country? And the conversation is on. Thank you for those that have sent me your messages. Maybe let me open the line so that we get to hear from you and what you think about Uganda hosting the NAM Summit and the G77 on 752-912-912 1780912-910. Ivan Paulsworth on Facebook is saying, I think this makes Uganda open to the world. Good enough we are blessed with beautiful sceneries for tourists. After the summit, they will have to tour and go with a good image to spread to the European countries. Musinguzi Onesimus, you're saying there is nothing bigger than working on the potholes that have been too much in Kampala. And you're listening again from Masher Kashema. Christian Saja, you're listening to the big set, and you're saying true Ugandans will stay. That will be useful. But on my side, it will not help it will help to develop Uganda's economy and infrastructure. You're listening again from Muntungu in the Centro. Ayabaziwe Brian, you're thanking us for the show, and you're listening again from Chitagwenda. And you're saying, I think Ugandans are likely to exchange knowledge with the leading experts, especially from China, and boosting opportunities through networking and other professionals and researchers. Aka Julio, you're saying, I think Ugandans should be proud of this summit because we already have renovations from Entebbe to the flyovers, and all that is coming because of the G77 summit. Nwajara David, you're saying, I think few Ugandans would benefit from these summits, especially those in government, but ordinary Ugandans have nothing big. You're listening again from Kazo there. Let me go to X. I can see Wakanda Rogers, who is saying the section of Uganda as the host for the international conferences like NAM and G77 is clear proof of the international community's trust in the country's security, and Uganda is indeed a secure and reliable destination. Thank you, Wakanda. A very fantastic message there. I have Azubwe Brian. I see you. Kutesa Van Biarahanga. You're listening again from Rwampara. We have Winnie, and you're saying just to disturb business of Ugandans and have to bring fake investors. Thank you, Winnie, for catching the show. Gail Button X, you're saying hosting international conferences like NAM and the G77 can bring several benefits to Uganda. Firstly, to provide an opportunity for Ugandans to showcase their hospitality infrastructure and capabilities at the global stage. Thank you. Keep the messages coming. I'll be able to read more of those. Thank you, Wakanda. Thank you, Brian Moriko, who is catching the show. And my very good friend, Ronald in Sengimana, you're catching the show. Thank you for listening. And every other person I know at the Law Development Center here at Chamugolani, the radio is on and loud and catching the show. I want to thank you so much, the learning colleagues there. Let me open the lines right now, and you have an opportunity to join in on 752-912-912, on 780-912-910. The big set. Hello, caller. Yes.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. What's your name and where you are?
It is me from Pinabatia in Churhura.
Yes, how about in Churhura?
So, Mr. Wesley, I need just to review on one thing. I was really appreciable with one of the panelists who stood out and said it is Mr. Seven who appoints his chief, and if he finds out that one of his chiefs is not corrupt, he will go and chase that chief. So I think we should not change the issue of him appointing the Yabakama as the chief.
We shall be talking about it a little bit later, but I want to thank you. On 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The discussion this morning is the international conference that is happening in Kampala. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm well, thank you. What's your name?
Mr. Definable, and I'm calling in from Nyashitunda Isingio. I wanted to appreciate those panelists because they give out important words, and if someone keeps on following those words, I think they will take us somewhere.
All right, thank you for that. The big set. Lost that call. The big set.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr.
Yes, you're very low.
Yes, but I'm talking loud, please.
Okay.
This is Semvuma Julius from Ugaga, Ambassador of CROOZE. So for me, the coming of the G77 in Uganda, I'm not seeing any advantage because, for example, China, political-wise, there is nothing that it is advising Uganda. Because I've never seen a member of opposition in China fighting for the country. So, and it is so disgusting that when the Chinese will come in Uganda, for example, that they think they will use, for example, a glass, they will see that it is made of China. So nothing Uganda is going to, that China is going to take from Uganda, that it is got from the Ugandan market.
All right. Thank you. On X, Ndiowaragaba Brave, you're saying this is a good sign that we are taking steps in development and this shouldn't leave us the same. Let's again much especially towards our political and economic development, and you're listening in from Bugamba. Thank you. I know Mcha Ivan. Ian, I see you there. You're saying Ugandans will benefit financially, especially those who own big hotels. Almax, you're saying to me, I think these events won't benefit the common person. Instead, it's benefiting the few that own the big hotels, not necessarily the small person. Nadiru, you're Daniru Nduhura, you're saying nothing at all, just wasting the money that will be used to build hospitals in Uganda. Let me see, Banate, you're saying, we just hope that this benefits the third class of Ugandans instead of the first class. Thank you. Let's keep the messages coming. And let me get back to the panel here. Bwenje. Yes, now, we know that certainly we're going to be hosting these events here in Kampala. And Ugandans should be indeed excited that in the so many countries across the globe, Uganda chosen to host such a summit. It brings so much to write home about Uganda. How should we strategize to sell ourselves at the global stage?
Yes, and of course, let's not forget that these summits are a recipe for corruption. They are an enticement for Ugandans to swindle the money which arises therefrom. But on the other hand, of course, it's a massive opportunity for tourism, for trade and investment. But there's nothing actually really big for us to write home about. We still have a very terrible human rights record. We don't know where our people are. People go home hungry. The Karamajongs are starving. There's a lot of carnage on our streets, and of course the corruption is unprecedented. I personally don't see any benefits because if you are going to wait for a summit to build roads, to build, hotels and so forth, then it means that you value foreigners more than your own people, because these facilities, the roads and so forth, must be there whether there's a summit or not. So I realize that these summits are not only just a formality, because they don't actually, in terms of substance, Uganda doesn't earn anything.
But back in
it's still a developing country. It is not getting any better.
Yes. There is a lot that we benefited out of.
Yes, and a lot of money was stolen, and we have never received any accountability of the same. So it is actually, I have a feeling of deja vu. It's the same thing. The same thing is going to happen, and no accountability at all. From the people who squandered it, and I don't even expect accountability now. The Auditor General has always been making reports year in, year out, but nothing's done. He looks like a dog which cannot bite. So it is actually like the speech of the year. The reading of the budget. It is always there. It is always there. There's nothing new about it. Millions of taxpayers' money are spent on the reading of the budget, but if you check on the debt burden of Uganda, I think 80 trillion in terms of the public debt. The budget, I think now it is 52.7. So the public debt alone is way more than our budget. And so how are we going?
Yeah, about that.
So, yes, thank you so much. But how are we going to finance that debt? We owe a lot of money to the Republic of China, which actually purports to be a member of
But the economists are saying this date is sustainable. We are moving in the right direction.
No, we are now at
the right
52%. We are at 52% if you compare the debt to GDP ratio. That's unacceptable. We cannot actually afford to go past the 50% mark. So
actually, 49. We are not supposed to go past 49.
Yeah. So we are doing very badly.
Okay.
So
please, yes.
So it is 50%.
Give us that knowledge. Give us that information on the microphone.
He's saying that
still a poor country. Actually, we don't benefit at all by these associations.
Okay.
They are just a tool to exploit us more. China is just like a vulture. It is just hanging over our dead, our carcass. There's nothing really we intend to benefit from them. But maybe what we should also, I think, interrogate is what does China want in Africa, which the USA did not get, which Russia did not get. And so as a people, as a poor people who don't even earn $1 a day, we have to ask ourselves, what new thing has China brought?
Okay.
China.
Thank you.
China has a very bad record of human rights violations. What it is doing to the Uyghur community there should actually not even be a good lesson for any of us. We should actually ask for accountability from China for its poor human rights record.
Thank you, Council. Council Honorato.
Yes.
In the creation of some of these organizations was to counter some of the occurrences on the global international level. We know what is non-alignment, what it means. Even when that was happening in the history of the world, of different countries fighting about supremacy and power, here we are in the Gaza Strip, in the West Bank, in the Middle East. We know what's happening with the Palestine. Where are these nations? Where are these organizations about the non-aligned movement and all these, summits? Where are they in a crisis like this?
Now, when you look at our Constitution, Article 123, what is it?
Yes.
When you look at Article 123 of the Constitution, I know you are now becoming a land friend.
Yes.
You are becoming a lawyer. Now let me take you back to class. Article 123 of our Constitution mandates the president to enter into any international ratification or conventions which are domesticated to become the law in the country. And it is similar platform where a country can comment openly on international activities that are not befitting a human being, like what is going on in the Gaza Strip, what is going on in Sudan, somehow in Sudan, in other countries where the human rights violations are at its apex. Now, when we look at the history as Mr. Bwenje has put it, the human rights violation in China is grave, so that none of us should run from them. That's where they will get to you with the luggage that is not yours. You don't go to court. They inject you there and then you die. You have seen Africans and Ugandans at large who are there, who have been killed mercilessly. At least I would rather stay with the West than stay with the East. Because with America, they will say, put him to court. The prosecution will prove the case beyond reasonable doubt, or where there is a shadow of doubt, they acquit you. But with China, once police suspects that you have something that is not allowed in their law, you are there and then killed. Without even going to court.
Mr.
Now, wait.
I need to give some information here. I want to inform my comrade that what he's saying, one, we look at the situation here in Uganda. When you read Socrates once made a statement that too much democracy is very deadly, because too much democracy makes a woman think he's a man, a child think he's old, a poor man thinks he's rich, and he starts claiming things of the rich. And at the end of the day, it is the situation happening in Uganda, where you go to districts, you find a person has chunks of land, they are unattached, he's not digging, but crying for handouts, crying for poverty, because he has been given too much democracy to wake up in the morning, go and drink alcohol.
In rebuttal.
Yes.
Mister, I don't see why all these arguments and well-furnished, well-researched with good English are coming at the time when Mzee Museveni is getting old and the son is trying to become Isheka Tabazi. He's just along the corner waiting Gorwabia to take away with it. And these are the people who are just giving us such analogies. Why are you on a mazma? Really? Barakutu hebyawe. I want to put this one in Nyankore.
Yes.
You have your small land, you have your beautiful wife, but you are poor, but somebody comes to grab it. You want our land to be given away like that.
Conclusively.
Now, Mr. Banyaji, some of these things are not things that we should just laugh. We should be wailing, crying, and even crying louder, so that people should come for rescue. China is not a country to associate with. That's why. I still remember some time back I told you.
But the good thing with China,
time,
but the good thing with China, their policy is simple: non-intervention into the internal matters of our country. Is indeed a good thing.
It is intervening.
That your
now,
economy. Once somebody enters into your economy,
but you're the ones running to China for borrowing. China does not come to lend you without you sourcing for those money.
Was it in 1884 or 83 when Scramble for the Partition of Africa
1884
took place? Because China was somewhere impoverished and trying to do something, now they are coming to also to take part in the colonization of Africa. They want to grab some remaining countries, and these selfish leaders who want to cling on to power by all means, so that they can also take part.
And also,
colonization. That's why you can
just
see
not forget,
Museveni transformed from America, which use even up to now. Our Ministry of Health is 98 financed by Americans.
That's a very big percentage, Council Honorable.
But he's trying to run away because they are telling him, now man, pack your goods. You are falling on our democracy.
Okay, thank you.
You see, and also we should not forget that China is a one-party state. It's a state which does not allow any form of opposition. The parliament there is a stooge. It does not do anything. It does not check the executive arm of government. There's no independence of the judiciary there. Judges are all subservient to the state. You don't make independent decisions there. The police and the institutions of government are dependent on the Communist Party. So there's nothing in terms of democracy that Uganda can learn from the Republic of China.
Yes.
And China is an agent of destabilization in the region. You've had China fighting for land in the South China Sea. There is a news which passed in 2022. China, some Chinese had an altercation with the Indian army. I had 5 Chinese killed, around 100 Indians with swords. I don't even know how they did it. So it's an agent of destabilization. But for me, what I want to say is that the dictator that Museveni is must align with people who sponsor dictatorship. And the reason why NAM is actually here, I just saw in the news that Uganda was chosen because it didn't vote in the UN General Assembly on the resolution on the war in Ukraine.
But it's not the only country that didn't vote.
But Uganda was
abstained.
It is stated like that. Uganda was chosen.
Let me give information.
Let me
give information.
You will have your time.
Give us that information real quick.
Choosing Uganda, I want to inform a comrade here that these summits are rotational. Uganda hosts today, Kenya hosts tomorrow, so it is not a guarantee that it must be here in Uganda. They are rotational.
They are rotational, I agree, but I've told you that the reason why Uganda was chosen is because it absconded on voting on that resolution.
But is Uganda supposed to host?
The question, whether Uganda is supposed
entitled to host, because you are saying it was chosen. Is it entitled to host?
It is entitled to host if it is a member. But I'm saying that the reason why we are hosting now is partly premised on that we didn't
The
vote.
reason is simple. Uganda is a member state entitled to host.
No,
Simple.
Yes, it can be that way. But I'm also saying that maybe that abscondment from the vote
amplified the need for Uganda to host.
Yes, the need with our so-called PR diplomats there. But for me, what I want to say is that
conclusively,
haven't we shown sides as far as the Ukraine-Russia conflict is concerned? So, and this shows you how President Museveni has managed to keep the world blindfolded. Today he says he has not voted on a resolution, and in the night he sends a delegation to Russia to attend these meetings. And actually he even went there himself, and his family went there. So for me, I want to tell Ugandans and I want to tell the world that
this man is the head of state.
We don't need to so much rejoice. We don't need. I think let me be protected as I finish. Let me be protected as I finish. The Chinese have come here. I know, as far as I'm concerned, even here in Imbarara, there is a Chinese who is selling sand at Shell Makenke there. You can go there yourself. You see a Chinese selling sand.
What is wrong with that?
What is wrong with that?
Yes.
It is that these people are taking away even the small opportunities, the small businesses. We have Chinese who are hawking saucepans. We have Chinese who are hawking pancakes. Oh, yes. So I think if this summit is coming to Uganda, I think the countries or the delegates who are going to represent Uganda, you should advocate for these things. Tell the Chinese to back off selling pancakes, that you are an investor, you've come to sell barbed wires. I think it is wrong.
Do the delegates need such a forum to channel some of these
If they don't say it here, where will they say it?
When a whole embassy of China is in the Republic.
If they don't say it here, if they don't raise it as a big discussion point, where will they say it?
Okay.
I think it's very important. Then my last point.
Let's allow him conclude.
Yes, my last point is that Uganda is badly governed. We are under.
But how can a badly
worst
governed country attract so many delegates coming
But
from
I've told you
the
it
entire
was a
stretch?
resolution. It was
Because if I'm Canadian,
because those countries don't mind about good governance. They have their own selfish interests.
Can such a summit be hosted in Sudan?
Yes,
Can it go to DRC?
Can it go to DRC as of now?
The United Nations is in DRC.
It's an entitled member.
Let's not
You
hate
already
this
said it's an
country so much.
entitled member. Let me conclude. Land friends, let me conclude.
You're not a land friend, my friend. Yes.
Mr. Banyaji,
Yes.
as a superintendent of this show,
Yes.
Is being committed on the people of Gaza pain me. I'm a pastor. They really pain me. You can't do indiscriminate bombing.
But that's
wait.
having your cake and eating it.
Yes, let me have my cake and eat it, because I cannot.
That's being objective.
Yeah, exactly. That's being objective.
Okay.
I'm saying that you cannot do indiscriminate bombing. You 1,000 bombs in a day on a city. I think it is something wrong. So I wish that I really applaud South Africa, and I wish that in this NAM summit we can have a bold country, and they stand in the face of President Museveni while in attendance and tell him, man, release the people that you have incarcerated that have not even appeared simply because they participated in the politics of the
But
country.
would
Mr.
that amount to
Mr. Banyaji,
Amount to what?
I wish to
engaging in the internal
I wish to
domestic
inform
affairs of Uganda?
the comrade here that as you are requesting the NAM, first request your LC1, request your LC5, request your area member of parliament, because
Not even what-
listen,
Let's allow it.
I
Let's
am
allow it.
submitting
Let's allow it.
because it really checks our credibility when we are on air here requesting NAM to provide favorable policies on investment, when the policies of investment of Uganda are made in parliament, and each one of us has a member representing in parliament making those policies on investment. So it really checks our credibility. Secondly,
Yes.
it checks our credibility, seeing us requesting here the NAM to question Museveni's leadership when we have functioning institutions of government. Why did you study law?
Yes.
Why did you, if at all there is no justice and judiciary,
right.
why did you study law?
Why do
And
they
where
go
are
to
you
court?
going to work from?
my right.
And why do you go to court? So really, it checks our
Members,
credibility.
I
Then-
want to counter to press a counter argument against my friend.
Yes, but the man is raising a very
I
legitimate
am
question.
raising.
They are not legitimate
Yes.
in law. In law, when we are in law schools, they tell us when you are handling a family matter, confine yourself in a family what? In a family law. Don't bring international law into domestic law. We are not dealing with local government. We are not dealing with local councils. Neither are we dealing with the parliamentary elections. We are dealing with international law. That's why Uganda, under Article 123, is mandated to sit in those summits. And those summits have the mandate to talk about domestic way of managing that society. That's why on their agenda.
But you may not necessarily suppress his argument of stating that if that situation is so bad that it warrants you to make a shout out to the international community to intervene, you're practicing lawyers with PCs. Why are you going to court? What is it that you're out to achieve if at all the situation is so bad and dire that it requires an international institution to come and intervene?
That's why.
No, let's the answer to him.
That's why when you are going to seek for international remedy, you first exhaust domestic what? domestic
Have you
remedies.
exhausted all remedies?
Now, in Uganda, people have tried. Others have died.
East African
Others are
Court of Justice.
incarcerated. Others are maimed. But now, where is Uganda? Where is our opposition in all this?
Now,
They are
information.
not even
I
allowed
have
to live in
information
their
here.
home.
I have information here. It is captured on record. One of the members of opposition saying it is haram in Islam to meet a member of NRM, to meet genocide, or to meet President Museveni. And that person is a road mayor of Kampala, capital city. And he said it publicly that he can never meet the president. He can never meet any member of NRM because he belongs to the
but I
opposition.
want to
And that's
inform
when Museveni made a statement that it really touches to see a country having the opposition members that are very reactionary.
But Council Honorato, Peter
and-
Mpaka and Council
them. You are killing
Deus
them.
did it.
But killing
What
us.
is there
You are
not
killing
to
us.
be glad about Uganda hosting these conferences? People are coming in and we have so much activity within our country. And now the international media is going to focus on Uganda and selling us for
the
greater
only
good.
thing I'm happy about, let me tell you, Wesley, the only thing I'm happy
say
about,
because
the only
Okay,
thing,
let's
give
allow-
you another
the
piece
only
of
thing-
information.
the
Let
only
me give
thing-
another piece
the
of
only
information.
thing-
Okay, shortly.
Yeah, when there was a parliamentary summit recently, Honorable Tayebwa hosted some members. I think they were 4 of them from
Singapore, from
Singapore and
Tonga.
And when he hosted them, they promised him to come back to tour Uganda because they enjoyed the environment. And coming back
Means
is to our
dollars.
advantage as
Yeah.
Ugandans.
for their own, the only thing Ugandans should be happy about is that the man, President Museveni, who has been working for his stomach and his wife's stomach and his children's stomach, is going to be the chairman for the
Okay,
next 2
let me
years.
open the
But I
lines.
also want to say this before you cut me off, that you should know that our sentiments are correct and right. Honorable Tamaguz and Honorable Nkunyinji, in this Chogamu speakers meeting which was on last week, they went to attend. They were dragged like chicken thieves. So we have nothing to be proud about. If honorable members, representatives of legitimate constituencies can be dragged out forcefully out of a summit, I am very sure that even in this NAM, if members of the opposition want to attend,
let me give
they
you
will
the
be
last
dragged
simple
out.
question.
Okay.
So with
Do you
such
agree
imbalances,
with me?
we cannot
Do you
be
agree with me that some members of the opposition said they can never meet President Museveni or any members of NRM?
Those members, are they the spokesperson of the
Okay,
opposition?
let's now get to
Well,
the
but
lifeline of the
Segirinya.
show. No. Let's go to the lifeline of the show. The telephone calls on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big set, we just lost that. On 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. Let's get to hear from you. The big set.
Mr. Scourge,
Yes, good morning.
I want us to agree on one thing. Uganda is now a country that it should be happy of something that is 100% bad and like 0 point something right. Now, about this summit, Uganda will just benefit on these roads we are seeing, but something that is really we are not benefiting it from. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
All right. On 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. Be able to watch on Cruise Television. That's on YouTube and TikTok. That's where we at, so that you see whatever that is happening here. You can be able to compare the voices with the faces in studio, and you enjoy it very seamlessly. Colin, let's get to hear from you. The big set.
Big seat.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Paul from Kapse Masharika Sehemu. Mwebale programu vitu. Ati
We lost you. On Cruise TV, I see Mukundane Alexander, you're watching from Buhweju. Christina Ebazibwe, you're in the UAE, Wakanda. Rogers, I see you. Mugabe Fahad Kamukama, you're watching from Nyakizi, Kakoba. I know Shabrian, you're watching in, and you're saying it's unfortunate that we're embracing these foreigners. After the second phase of colonization to happen, we'd rather not be myopic. Brian Moreko there. Thank you, O'Brien, for being a part of the show. I see some of your messages. You're saying it's unfortunate that now Uganda is wholeheartedly welcoming China. The government should focus on the development of communities rather than the development in, China is focusing on brainwashing Africans, and they should suspect the second phase of colonialism. I know for sure the different petrol stations that are tuned in to the big set and supermarkets. I want to say thank you. There is a particular salon, TNT. It's always loud. And yesterday I was there, and the problem child with the extra was on, and I'm very sure that the big set is on. Thank you, every other person that is in there. My shout outs go to you. Now, let me pick a bit of more calls before we engage in another year of the appointment of a new commissioners of the Electoral Commission. What does it mean? Do we expect it impartial as it can be? On 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big set. Just lost that. On 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. Call in and be a part of the show this morning. The big set.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
This is Regan from Midom.
Yes, Regan. Just lost that. Let's stop for a break. When we come back, we'll be engaging into the appointments into the Electoral Commission. Good morning.
It's tough.
Western Ghana's biggest radio station, 91.2 CROOZE FM, great music, great friends. On Facebook, Honorable Ernest, you're saying hosting international conferences will bring several benefits to Uganda, which include diplomatic importance, enhances Uganda's diplomatic standing, and it provides opportunity to showcase the country's capabilities and engage in other nations in various global issues. These conferences can significantly contribute to Uganda's global image. Thank you, and you're listening and watching from UAE. Bassa Katunje, you're on, and you're watching and listening from Uganda, Orishaba Marcel. You're saying nothing big. You will hear stories of stealing money. Kenneth Oxlade, you're saying tell Honorato that we are not Galatians, we are Ugandans. You asked Council Bwenja about the summit, he replied to vote Chagurani. And those are the people that want power. Tell them Ugandans are not cowards. I think it's a very important point to end that. It's about 16 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's switch to another topic. Council Honorato Muhanguzi, the president, in accordance with Article 60, appointed new commissioners of the Electoral Commission. Some of those, the Justice Simon Biabakam and Hadat Aisha Rwega, and the three Sebunya and Okello, who are members of the NRM. What does this mean?
Thank you. Dear listeners, I want us to understand this. Because under Article 60 of the Constitution, Clause 2 and 3, it mandates the President to appoint chairman, electoral commission, and other commissioners for one more renewable term in office. but it gives him timelines to appoint those people at least 3 months before the expiry of their term of office. As we speak, before I go to that area, these people came to Parliament. Upon entering into a Parliament, present a budget, estimated budget for the next year. They were informed that actually your term of office has expired. And my brother Simon Biabakama, the former judge, a retired judge, chairman Electoral Commission,
is actually still serving.
He's still a serving judge, yes. But the constitution is very clear on Article 60 that once you are appointed on that capacity as a chairperson Electoral Commission,
you relinquish
your previous assignments. But by constitution, you lose that job. Now, who is supposed to at least advise the president or slept on his mandate until when his term of office expired, came to Parliament to present a report, all of a sudden was bounced back that his term of office died long ago. That's where I will go back to my first statement when I was commencing this show, that we poor Garashians, or we poor Ugandans, of course some of the people think they can bring their vulgarism to some of us. For
and
me, I studied, I offered literature at A level. I know what we call similes and metaphors. So we are using that high profile English so that those who know. Those who don't know, you just listen to us.
Perhaps they have to go to school.
Let them go and read. So when big boys are speaking,
yes,
you just get your piece of paper
and
a pen and take notes. So we are saying, we poor Garashians, who bewitched us? I can put it in Rinyankore. Akajangwimo basoro babagaratia mwabarogire no. Ona maizima Uganda bataratorogire chairman Electoral Commission or judge wa kote ya high court garahiguru.
I don't see a problem with that.
My dear, this article is very clear. Let me read it verbatim. It says in Article 60, CROOZE 2, a member of the commission shall be a person of high moral character, proven integrity, who possesses considerable experience and demonstrated competence in conducting of public affairs.
But in my opinion, it's actually right to have a person like a judge heading that institution, because it's literally impartiality on the look of it.
Let me tell you. Do you see the word proven integrity in a certain service?
And who is better than a judge at that?
Like now when we are here, you are our leader. When we talk about radio issues, we just keep quiet, and for you lecture us and we write. Then I go, I follow on you, the rest will also follow, according to the experience. But now, a commission led by a judge to wait for expiry, and you come also hobnobbing that you are presenting something into Parliament. That's where I will go back to my statement.
Thank you.
But now, President has that mandate. Of course, their term of office has expired. They are supposed to be renewed. But bringing now like people like Sebunya, I have no doubt about them, because they have requisite qualifications. They have served as members of Parliament. What is now just lingering into our mind is that some people have been members of Parliament at an NRM ticket. They are serving a government institution where they are supposed to be impartial. The area of impartiality is now put to test. We saw how Biabakama reached at the extent of lining people, please line up and vote someone. how he reduced his demeanor, his status of a judge to go to work as a constable on a line of people voting. Now you bring people like Sebunya who have been in politics. They are now a cadre who was brought. The father was a minister of agriculture.
Yes, very famous agriculture minister.
He said, you eat crocodiles. Now the son is...
Thank you, Council. Let me bring in Council Bwenje. Council Bwenje, I think the problem is the Constitution. Why should we have the responsibility of appointing electoral commissioners in the office of the president? Perhaps we should first repeal that law so that we solve the problem entirely.
Now you see, there's actually in the entire constitution, there's no requirement of a member of the commission a member of the electoral commission to be impartial. It's not there.
It's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement.
No, but it's like
but of course, the provisions of Clause 2 of Article 60 are very succinct. They are very straightforward. The members of the commission shall be persons of high moral character, proven integrity, and who possess considerable experience and demonstrated competence in the conduct of public affairs. The chairperson of the electoral commission, the Honorable Justice Byavubakama Mugenyi Simon, is a justice of appeal, and it is even debatable if he has resigned as such or if he's still holding the same position. Now, as to whether he's a person of integrity is also subject to debate.
But there is a whole appointments committee that is able to debate this intervention.
Yeah, it is subject to debate because not only actually in 2021, but you see, when you read the judgment of Honorable Justice John Bosco Katusi, which he rendered on the 6th of March of 2006, the chairperson now was a deputy DPP then, and he masterminded the fabrication of evidence in court, where the witness against Dr. Blessj, actually the late Juanita Chakua, who was alleging that the Honorable Dr. Chiza Blessj raped her. She had some gadgets in her ears, and ostensibly it was to receive answers from outside of court. And the chairperson of the electoral commission now
was the orchestrator,
deputy DPP then. I don't want to.
No, I mean he was the one behind.
Yes, of course, and of course he was so eloquent. But the judge stated that the case was really handled with lack of professionalism. Actually, it was handled in an amateur manner. But of course, I don't want to use that against him because, of course, I'm aware of judges who have been appointed when they have been NRM. But I have hope that by the virtue of the fact that they swear a public oath, an oath of office. Now that oath is supposed to actually to purify you from being NRM or NUP or what into a public officer. So I don't see what anything wrong with their appointment, except maybe that the renewal of the term of the chairperson is coming before the end of the 90 days, and I think there's a matter of law there.
Okay.
And so but for the other ones, being NRM MPs, there's nothing wrong.
Thank you, Council. Peter.
As long as by swearing the oath, they're going to be impartial and fulfill the functions of a commissioner for oath, not to help Museveni to rig the votes of the people of Uganda.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. In your
very briefly, me, I want to tell Ugandans that akabika twehingurize because President Museveni, it's on record, it's well known, is an election thief. No mushuma w'obururu. He has appointed people. The purpose of these cadres, these are extreme cadres of the NRM. Whether they swear an oath that cannot purify them, Council Bwenje, they have been appointed to facilitate the rigging of an election. There is no way an NRM, omwana wa NRM kaina sakutero ringo kuba wa gambari NRM yei. How about these people who have been put there? So for me, for us in the opposition, we want to suggest actually that the commissioners of the Electoral Commission should be voted for by the public or by the Parliament of Uganda to ensure partiality. I mean impartiality.
Voted for by the parliament. The parliament is predominantly NRM.
Okay,
so
thank
still
you.
the NRM.
Thank you. No, your time is fast spent.
The parliament.
In a second.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say that what is important is the independence of the Electoral Commission, because the Constitution guarantees those members who were appointed to be appointed and gives the mandate to the president to appoint.
Thank you, Mr.
And also, what I want also to inform the comrade that the fact that the Constitution does not limit the members of the Electoral Commission to participate in the voting process. They are Ugandans who also have the mandate to choose their leaders.
Okay, thank
you. So it does not take away their rights to vote or to do any other thing concerned with politics.
Thank you. My punchline this week is let's just welcome the summits, NAM and the G77 and China. For the good of our country, it's about time that every Ugandan is able to sail the brand called Uganda for the greater good of the people. Other than that, let's meet next Saturday for the big set. My name is Wes Gavanyaji. We have news at the top of the hour. The sports roundup will be coming. Don't forget, AFCON is on. We shall be giving you some of that. And the Premier League, it will be Kasavu Kanyama kind of thing. God bless you. Have a fantastic weekend. We're out of here. Thank you, Council Honorato Mhanguzi. Thank you, Mr. Peter Mpaka. Thank you, Musa Twatanese. Thank you, Council Bwenda Deusidede. Thank you, every contributor of the show. And the boys from the Creative Dictum Media. And the all callers. God bless you. We're out. Good morning.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of this radio station or its management.
This radio is regulated by Uganda Communications